First direct talks between Israel and Lebanon since the early 1990s have taken place in Washington. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio hosted the ambassadors of each country. There's much to discuss. Israel has killed over 2,000 people in Lebanon since March the 2nd, over 1 million of refugees within their own country. This latest war began when the Lebanon-based militant group Hezbollah attacked northern Israel, and since then there's been a sustained airstrike campaign by the Israelis on South Lebanon and South Beirut, considered both to be strongholds of Hezbollah. The movement, of course, is backed by Iran, and it attacked Israel, it says, in revenge for the Israeli killing of Iran's late supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, on February the 28th. Hezbollah's leader called yesterday for these talks to be suspended even before they started, named Qasem, pointing to the ongoing Israeli bombardment as proof they're not serious about peace. But as the talks began in Washington, there were air raid sirens sounding in Israel, with Hezbollah launching rocket attacks towards the territory. Senior Hezbollah officials already stated they will not abide by any agreements that may result from the direct Lebanon-Israel talks taking place. Let's hear them from Israel's ambassador to the United States.
What gives me hope is the fact that the Lebanese government made it very clear that they will no longer be occupied by Hezbollah. And Iran has been weakened. Hezbollah is dramatically weakened. This is an opportunity. This is the first time our two countries are sitting together in over 3 decades. Let's feel the moment. Let's enjoy the moment.
A positive spin there from Israel's ambassador to the US, Yechiel Leiter. Let's go now to Jerusalem, get some reaction there. Our correspondent Noga Tarnopolsky is awaiting us. Noga, a very good evening to you. What sense do you get from what we're hearing so far from these talks?
Good evening, Mark. Well, you know, that kind of almost festive positivity from the Israeli ambassador was quite unexpected. The Israeli government has been talking down these talks. Netanyahu has made it very clear that he was coerced into these talks by Donald Trump, that he appointed this crony, his personally appointed ambassador, and the understanding here in Israel is that Netanyahu was just doing the president's bidding and playing for time. But this statement really does put Israel now squarely in the position of saying we might have a future in diplomatic relationships with Lebanon. And the ambassador went on, to my surprise, he went on to say that there will be further talks, because one of the things we knew today is that this was just a preliminary meeting with no substantial talks planned. So it's possible that Rubio's efforts in this respect will bear fruit. Of course, this is going to demand very serious changes from both sides. The Israeli government will have to accept a ceasefire if these talks do continue, and very possibly will have to accept a withdrawal from this large swath of territory in southern Lebanon that the government, the Israeli government, has promised Israelis would be occupied by Israeli soldiers for their security. That security has yet to come through. We have to say life in the Israeli north is unlivable. But now it does seem that the Israeli government, at least in its public statements, is open to a change. Of course, Hezbollah, that has been pummeling Israel equally, will have to accept probably from Iran an order to also stand down if this is to move forward.
And this is obviously the part of the equation that still remains very much unresolved, because whilst Israel and Lebanon may be talking, Hezbollah not even in the room to take part.
Yeah, it would have been impossible for Hezbollah to take part. It's an internationally recognized terror group. It's also an internationally recognized proxy of Iran. And it is being delegitimized at this very moment by the Lebanese government that is making really unprecedented and remarkable efforts to establish a monopoly of arms, it calls it, and really sovereignty over the entire territory of Lebanon. This is, from Prime Minister Netanyahu's point of view, of course, a double-edged sword. If Lebanon asserts its sovereignty, Israel will have to withdraw from the territory that just 2 days ago Netanyahu promised to occupy. But he could maybe succeed in bringing security to Israel if Hezbollah is in fact tamed. We still don't know how this could happen. Hezbollah has been very clear that they will not lay down arms. Their raison d'etre is to be an armed Islamist militia. So we are very far from peace breaking out. But this statement from the Israeli ambassador seems to have opened a door in a new direction.
We're waiting to hear from Lebanon's ambassador, who was in the talks too. As soon as we get that, of course, we'll come back to you and see what else you can give us on that. Noga, thank you for now very much indeed. Noga Tarnopolsky, our correspondent, as always, in Jerusalem. Thank you so much, Noga.